Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're well. I am well myself. My name is Wanyiha Jean Dudes, and I've been sharing on this group that is called Broken to Whole. And I hope you guys are getting blessed and just identifying. I know the kind of things we are doing here right now are so crucial, and perhaps you've never thought that you could come to admitting things like those about your life. Yeah. Now, I've been reading your comments, and I want to appreciate you guys for just stopping by and leaving comments, and suggestions. And I want you to know that, I have heard you, okay, and I'm doing my best. I've actually just deleted all the videos that are done and just tried to find an angle that would be easier to understand. And I do realize that it is difficult, yeah, sometimes to follow me. And also I've been this whole thing has been living in my head rent free, okay? So it's like 21 years of life in my head, and it's a lot, yeah? And I realized that I was struggling with some bits. It's like I was forgetting some bits about the beginning of, the last phase, yeah, the last 7 years. And that actually surprised me, yeah. So I recognize the way I'm going back and forth as I remember things. I need to add more details in particular videos, yeah. So I've tried, okay, but should you find fault, it's my own, okay. This last season, I was under so much attack, and I didn't understand, yeah? And I was tired of doing the same thing. And I remember as the season was starting, I was going into some kind of consecration period, yeah? God would tell me, and it's something that he had told me before, and I have failed each and every time, yeah? Step away, you will be separated, study the word, exercise your body, okay? And I even started, and then at some point it was so hard, and I didn't realize what was going on, yeah? But God knew. So when it came a point where he's asking me to talk, I came over here, bombarding you with all this, and I had just a short time, okay? I had 10 days to do this, and I was so scared that, this 10 days will elapse without me doing this. And I was wondering, okay, so what happens after, yeah? Because I know I won't have as much time, yeah? So I felt like that is the time that God had commissioned, and I'm glad it at least started. So it has taken some time. I'm trying to improve, and I realize everything takes practice, yeah? You don't just come and, pour out, yeah? So God, wants us to be ready for when he sends us. So we stay ready so that we don't have to get ready. I did stay ready, okay? So that's my confession. But I'm really honored to be doing this, and I understand my level, okay? So consider this as, the time of John the Baptist telling people, prepare the way of the Lord, yeah, because he is coming. Perhaps people didn't believe it, because even when he came, they didn't see him. They didn't realize this was him, okay? So I've come to understand patterns in my life where I go somewhere and it's I'm going to just send a warning, yeah? And then the person who comes after me now comes and blows the whole thing out of the park, yeah? So that, when a pattern is repeated, you realize that it's been established, yeah? And in many ways, you now begin to understand yourself. God is very keen to teach you who he is, yeah? And so we are right here. We receive our visas, and we are so happy. I've been listening to these Kikuyu songs. My kids are tired of me, yeah? I'm Niwekete magegania, dige hota gotareria, dige hota gotareria, dige hota gotareria. I was so amazed by God, and I was mind blown that our people could actually sing the Bible, And some of the songs were touching me so much. I was like, how did this all happen? Where was I? Why was I in such a slumber that I never even embraced this? Because it's I'm on my way somewhere, yeah? I thought it was shady. Okay, and I want to just give you a sneak peek into your life, yeah? where you're off running to, God will have to bring you back into himself, into the person that he built you to be. So who you are was very intentional to God, yeah? So don't hate yourself. In fact, now start embracing yourself, yeah? So we come to this place. I'm forever singing. My kids are so tired, yeah? I'm thinking, guy, dashia guy, neshia magegania. Allow me to just speak my language, yeah? You know, and so I begin to see all these things that God says are true. I see scripture coming to life. I see songs that talk about all these things, yeah? And I'm like so envious, you know? But I'm like, okay, I'm leaving this behind. I'm going to Canada, okay? Even my English should have been polished. I'm worried about the things I didn't do, yeah? And here are my friends like... No, there were some friends that I told you were in Chama with me, and these people like did going away kind of gathering, yeah? Now I have to tell you, yeah? There were people God had said will not escort me, okay? Will not be there. And me as a man, I'm thinking... Yeah, truly, because I don't even have much money to facilitate for transport and all that. I want a small gig. So the people who are around me were the ones who could actually just, you know, carry themselves, as in even provide transport for the others. Just, you know, people who were close to me. Now, this Chama were not, they knew the whole story, but they were not too close that they could, you know, do anything. They were happy for me. They even gave me $100 US. So it was really a good parting where we could share some words, yeah? And I remember now, because I had seen God, you know, and 2 weeks before is when I told my mom, yeah, and I had to tell them, please do not tell. Please do not tell. This is the command of God. Even you guys, I would have told you the day before, yeah? But now my mom understood and she was like very, very serious. We can't tell, yeah? So she's even telling the auntie that was around me, always the sickly one, yeah? We can't tell. And my auntie was not happy about it. So that's the same day still I went and told my sister. And my sister gave me a Bible. You know, she gave me this Bible. She had bought it at Papa Center for 5K. Okay, that was a huge sacrifice to us who were struggling, yeah? And she told me, because you have really leaned on the word of God and he's seen you through, here, take my Bible. She had bought it for herself. She was like, no, Newts, take. I have seen what God can do, okay? And so we are so much in awe, and so we prepare, you know, towards leaving, yeah? And so, yeah, this gathering, and I tell my mom, you know, I have really learned, I have grown, and I want to promise you to do an Isaiah 54 too. That is what I live with you, okay, mommy? Okay, like if you don't get it, it will be trouble, you know. And so yeah, my mom is listening, very humbled, and so our friends now see us off, yeah. And now my sister is left to handle everything, yeah. She's always coming in clutch. So we go to the JKIA. My mom speaks blessing on me. We are so sure I'm going into, you know, huge success, yeah. And so that is all we know. We only know in part, okay? And yes, I'm convinced it's going to be successful. Whatever I touch is going to be great. After all, didn't God bring me back? Now, there's one thing. When I came into the second consecration in 2016, as I am praying to God, and he gives me Isaiah 54 again, and go, and you know, when I went to church, there was this altar call, and the pastor said, not only will you go, your marriage will stand, yeah? And as I'm continuing to talk to God, like, is this my rib? You know, what did I just hear? God keeps telling me, let go, okay? Let go. Just let go. It's like, let go. Let go, let me, okay? And so I'm so free at this point, yeah? I'm like, I never want to be, you know, an older jealous woman. I never want to look at young girls and think, you know, you guys should all die so we all get a chance as older people. I'm like, you know, I will serve the Lord for the rest of my life. I have seen him carry me through all this. I have seen him forgive me of sins. And now I want to just serve the Lord, okay? And so, so we get to the airport. My mommy blesses me, and we are off, you know. When the future calls, you know, you have to leave all your people. Just like Abraham, okay? Now I'm doing a Sarah because I didn't listen when my husband was given the promise that he would get a son, Okay, I tried to do Sarah's of my own. I was all over, so I had to come into. I had to understand, okay, and see what what happens when Sarah, goes and finds her own way to bring about an Isaac. Yeah, that woman, that maiden, will show you Pepper if she can do what you can't do. Okay. So with that, we journeyed through Nairobi to Casablanca, to Montreal, and St. John's. Now, to those who have followed my story a bit, you might know that I had a dream in 2016, and my husband was telling me, come to Canada, okay? But now our visas, even at that point, were rejected. But at the corner here, there were 3 people who, the lady spoke and told me, meet me here in 12 hours. And now there was this young baker, okay? So imagine Joseph in prison with the baker, all right? And he would translate my dreams, although that is opposite. And he told me, Mom, you're going to use routes that you've never heard of, okay? So that, you will know that God is doing this. So once you meet this Trinity and pray, Mom, your miracle is going to happen, okay? And so you could see, even when our visas were being processed in that dream, they said the kids are okay, but the mom is not, okay? So I had fallen out of grace, and I thought, man, it is too bad. I'm just now a vessel. And I remember in Papa Center, I used to tell God, just use me as a vessel. So this is the route that God introduced. At the point where we were buying our tickets, we discovered this is the cheapest. Like, it was everything. It was in our faces, yeah? I had never heard of Air Maroc going through Casablanca, and I never thought, can you leave Africa and go all the way to Canada? I never thought, because I'm thinking you have to go through Asia, or Egypt, Cairo, London, all those routes. But now we go through Nairobi, Casablanca, Montreal, St. John's, okay? And so in Montreal is where we get our study permit, for the kids, and a work permit for me. And, now, I had told my husband one thing, and I kept begging him, please, let me just pick a cab from the airport. How hard could it be? Now, understand this. In my times alone, I had done life with people, and I kept seeing myself fall out of grace with people. So I was so scared. I just wanted to go hide and start my life alone, yeah? And my husband was like, no, I have to organize for guys to get you, because in this place, I have helped a lot of people, okay? So I'm going to ask them to help you, okay? And they will. And so I realized, okay, there's no bargaining with this guy. Things have to go the way, he says. And so after that journey, we arrive in St. John's at about 11, yeah? And so when we land, we alert him we've landed. And for some reason, I think the person who was to pick us was a bit delayed, yeah? But now they came and they took us. And in Canada, you have to go get, power under your account, yeah? So if you're moving to a house, you have to, get the power under your own address, okay? So they helped us do that first, and then we went to the house, checked if it's everything we wanted, because the landlady was there waiting. And so I signed the contract, and yeah, the person who picked us was like, now we go, okay? And I'm like, just take us to a shop, we buy, the bare minimum. I was thinking the whole time, I just want to get a corner shop where we can buy bread and milk, and then eventually we'll get to know where, everything is, yeah? After all, we'll have to do a lot of walking and, get to know this place. And from what I could see from the ride from the airport, it was quite a small place. I could get around here, In those 7 years, I had learned to be independent, yeah? But God had another plan. Okay, so these people were telling us, do you know how helpful your husband has been? He even babysits for us. He drops people, he drops us wherever. And I had been a witness, yeah? Sometimes when we are talking, somebody would call requesting him for a favor. I've been in an accident. Oh, please, I need, my daughter dropped somewhere. So I knew, I knew it's like they feel it's their burden now to give back. Okay. So, they after that, yeah, they took us for lunch, of course. And I remember, they took us to McDonald's, and I was like hesitant, yeah, in the time that I was consecrating, yeah. I had felt like fast food is out for me, so I'll just be eating clean, just be trying, yeah. But McDonald's, it was, I didn't even know how to order. I'm like, oh God, I feel like this temple is so clean. I don't want to put anything that is not right, yeah. But then I'm like, I have to get into the culture, so I'm having all these conversations in my head, yeah. Okay, so we get into the culture, right? Eating fast foods and all that. And yeah, like the whole time I'm like, chill out, be nice, don't, like I notice I'm not even in charge. I'm not in authority, okay? So we have lunch and they take us shopping. Like they were like, you have no idea what kind of a day, I have planned for you. So we are now getting giddy, like, oh, wow, these people is how we here, yeah? They have so much money and all that. So she takes us to buy food, and then we go to Walmart, and my God, all the things I see in YouTube are suddenly here, So I'm really excited and like getting greedy, yeah? So I'm like, hey, if she's bought all these things, yeah? I should even ask for pots and stuff, yeah? Yeah, so at some point we talk with hubby, and he's like, you guys exercise, as we are praising this person, he's like, hey, you guys exercise wisdom, okay? And so I'm like, oh, yeah. In the Bible, it says in Proverbs 23, when you come before a king, put a knife on your throat, yeah? And I should find that scripture, but you can also, check it out. So it says, when you sit to dine with when you sit to dine with a ruler, note well that what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you're given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive, yeah? Did I know the Bible like that? Nope. And I wasn't even conscious. I was like, kaende, and the scripture before me says it's 1 Corinthians 6:19 to 20, and it says, do you not know what that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You're not your own, okay? You're not your own people. You were bought at a price, okay? Therefore, honor God with your bodies, okay? I've never known how deep that goes, but we are about to find out together, okay? So, yeah, so I'm like asking for things, and hubby's like, exercise wisdom. And yeah, so I try to even give back, even the $100 US I give to her, and she's like, oh yeah, this is so nice, yeah. And I had left Kenya with $300, okay? And I remember I've never been one to depend on people. Like I didn't like it. I was, telling her, let's take a cab, but plus I knew I had very little, money. I didn't want to be embarrassed in this place, yeah? So I wanted to just start on my own and then start a job, because we think jobs are so easy to get, and now start earning, okay? And so yeah, I give back some of the money, and I'm like, yeah, that was wrong. That was so wrong of me to go out like that, yeah? So yeah, we finally go home. We are tired. It's been 36 hours of traveling, and then that whole day we're just combing the streets, yeah? Getting to know places. It was so important because this lady didn't have much time, yeah? So it's showing us around, showing us the kids' schools, like here the children will go to the nearest school near their neighborhood, okay? So no ambition of going, I don't know where, the best performing school. So it's the school in the neighborhood, okay? And so I get an SSN, she takes me to the place to get an SSN, because you cannot be paid. If you get a job, you cannot be paid without one, yeah? So whatever status is bringing you, like I had a work permit, you have now to get, an SSN, okay? And so we are done, and we, now we come back home, get showered and to bed. We are tired, yeah? And so the next day is 8th July 2017, yeah? And I see Tamwa, when we wake up, we are around the kitchen, and Tamwa is like, Mom, see, it's raining, yeah? it's amazing, these numbers, you know. We left Kenya on 6th, arrived here on 7th, so it's 7, 7, 17, and now today it's raining. It's like it's welcoming us. I'm like, who does this kid know, you know? So I wanted to understand that there's some kids who are just, will understand the spiritual more easier. So yeah, you will see that. Yeah. And so the first day it rains all day, we don't go anywhere, but you know, at some point we had to go to Tim Hortons to speak to daddy because we didn't have Wi-Fi yet. Okay, so for some time we didn't have Wi-Fi, and sometimes now we had to, you know, talk through friends, because now friends were visiting, and we met like a Kenyan couple that Sunday. Yeah. So there are not many Kenyans there, so it was just that one Kenyan couple, and now we begin to meet other people. Our next door neighbor, who wasn't living there, had rented the place, comes back, and so we're getting to know people, you know. This lady now discovers she has Africans for neighbors, you know. She's so nice to us, but now she starts, you know, getting us clothes from wherever, because people believe now they have to help, you know, the new Africans. Yeah. But anyway, as she's settling down, we are also settling down around the same time, yeah? And so, you know, among the many people that I met, you know, this girl, yeah? And this girl had a mom, yeah? Now the mom is the first person who met my husband, yeah? So they had been tight. She met my husband in 2010, okay? So they have been around each other for like 7 years, all right? So a long journey together. She was so eager to meet me. She used to even send us gifts, yeah, whenever he's coming. So, you know, when we met, she's like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Peter's wife, you're very beautiful. I'm like, wow. And I was like this. I kind of entered Canada like this, hair like this, with color. I was looking like a mad woman. No makeup, nothing. Okay. Okay, it's such a coincidence that I'm like this today, yeah? And so, you know, so validating. I'm like, wow, I finally meet this lady, you know. I used to consider her like my husband's mom in Canada, yeah? So, it's so fulfilling. And so, these people now, the family, would keep coming around my house. I don't mind. We cook together, you know. We are food loving people, okay? So they would sit around my table, and you know, we began to know each other. Now some of the things I noticed kind of felt a bit uneasy, right? So we are sitting around the table, they're speaking their language, yeah? Whenever I said something as if I know my husband, they would react in a certain way. And then suddenly I start, you know, seeing this lady who, when I met, was a bit different, okay? So it's like there was a camouflage here, you know. So I start seeing this lady who always, you know, in this family, always, like the daughter to this lady, always comes to my house, you know. And I'm like, okay, so what is this, right? So she's very helpful. She keeps buying things. And the way the behavior is kind of questionable. And now the problem was, maybe I didn't care about everything else, but she started now attacking Tamwa, okay? And she would say things, it's like she knows him. This one eats anything. And as long as, you know, like they're eating something as a kid, and, you know, something like the son says, I don't want anymore, she's like, give this one. He eats anything. And I'm like, when I met her, she was very polite, friendly. We actually seemed to hit it off, yeah? We would talk about things. She would tell me about her family, about her husband who was back in Africa, you know, and I'm like, I don't know why she's being unpleasant. I could never talk like that to her son. But I remember throughout my life, I've always been like a victim, yeah? Like polite, you know, and so when people are more loud than me, I kind of sink low, yeah? But I'm not liking this, you know. However, how low you are, you know, you will want to defend your kids. And now my baby and her son are closer in age, yeah? So they really hit it off. They're always forever playing games, you know, and Mike now is just cool with everybody. Now these people would keep coming around me. At this point, you know, as soon as I got Wi-Fi, I'm trying to apply jobs, and I'm not getting responses. And even when I do an interview and I'm not getting one, okay? But we're still going out, yeah? Our Kenyan family is coming to take us out, other friends, this Kenyan lady likes, the kids, she's taking them out on their own. I don't mind, yeah? But I find like this place is so different. People are more interested in the kids, yeah? And that now was something to observe. I'm like, wow, okay, it's so different. Like people are, even parenting is like very different. It's not free like we are in Africa. So I had a lot of things to learn, but also there was just so much experience. Yeah, my firstborn is 18, okay? So yeah, she will take me out, we go walking and all that, introduces me to friends, we go make chapos at her place, so just settling, yeah. But this particular family now was upsetting me because even the mom would drop in sometimes and be like, she's taking the kids to see the dad's office, yeah? And she says, we'll go by McDonald's because I hear he eats anything. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's not cool. Red flags all over. And now whenever they would come to my table and, I make some food to eat, they would be speaking in their language, and their language is Bantu. So I could tell, they're speaking about me, okay? So very upsetting, yeah? But many times it happened, and, these people would just, do so much, like bring shopping and everything. And now I'm like, I don't feel like they appreciate me. I don't even feel like they approve of me. And they were around my husband a lot. So it's like now they really don't like the wife, yeah? So I don't know what's happening, but their behavior is like not so cool, okay? But they're still trying, they're still helpful. And I'm like, I don't want to be ungrateful, but I wish these people would just disappear. They are upsetting me. Everything else, I'm loving the town and everything. Everything else seems to be working fine. I'm cool with everything. Just this family, whenever they come around, I feel like it's like I'm being analyzed, yeah? And I'm like, in the times that we were talking, we had talked a lot of things, yeah? I had even told this lady, now, crazy things that we used to discuss with hubby, like he will take the kids and, I can go wherever. I had said that to her, okay? And so now, I'm like, okay, so this lady, like there's something about her. And then now God starts speaking to me and he's like, observe, okay? And so I'm even asking her, be like, who is this? Because she speaks freely, she speaks too freely, okay? But I've seen now this place, people are so courageous, they have this terminology, they express themselves easily. Me with my former lisp, I'm trying to connect my mind with this situation because it is shocking me, yeah? So all the kindness I've ever offered, I come to people with kindness, okay? Not knowing, what is happening. And some things are premeditated, yeah? So stay sharp because some situations will require that of you, yeah? And so, yeah, I'm not liking, and I'm asking my hubby, is this your girlfriend, And he laughs. He's telling me, like, I would let a girlfriend of mine come around you. That would be crazy. And I'm like, no, there's something here, yeah? And now, the first time I ever met this lady, no shade, but she wasn't strikingly beautiful, okay? So, and the way she was dressed, so demure, okay? So, very well covered and, wearing these low shoes, like rubber shoes, like ngoma, So I'm like, oh, this girl is not fashionable at all. Like women notice dressing very fast, yeah? But then as I continue to see her, and she continues now to get to know me with my mini skirts and stuff because I'm enjoying summer, I'm abroad now. I see that she starts now dressing the same way. Like if she sees me in a jean skirt, she will wear it and come around me. Now I discover, man, this woman has a beautiful body. And now I look at her and I see like a whole change. And I'm thinking, what happened? Because the first time I saw this girl, she didn't hit me, as even my husband's type. But now I'm seeing her, she has like a very nice figure, beautiful person, big and beautiful. And I'm like, wow, there's something here. And God is telling me in the secret place, observe, okay? Now I've been made to observe. And now we arrived on 7th July, okay? So my son's birthday is on 16th. And she says, I'm bringing the cake. And I'm like, yo, first of all, I'm a baker. Second of all, I didn't plan to have a birthday because I didn't feel like I know a lot of people. I also don't have means of transport and money. I don't want to keep going, to the market to buy food. I don't want to have a party, okay? But she says, I'm bringing the cake. And I'm like, I wasn't planning to do a birthday. And she's like, no, Peter says. And now, before we got Wi-Fi, they were more in communication with my husband, yeah? And sometimes she would come and call him from our house. She's laughing. Okay, so I'm like, nope. She could have made that call from wherever, And she's like, oh, like making the observation, oh, my child and your child are really getting along now, the baby, it's so fun. Your family is nice. No. Yeah, so on this day, I'm very, uncomfortable about this birthday issue, but I let it go. I mean, husband has said, yeah, and, even like, when things are done, I don't even ask, did my husband send you? Yeah. So I'm like, wow, okay, just, at the same time, looking for work. Okay. I'm looking for work and not finding. And now this lady tells me we are hiring at my job, but she's very hesitant, yeah? And again, you remember, like when I saw McDonald's and, I'm thinking we are eating at McDonald's, I was also very hesitant, yeah? So I see she's hesitant, but because she talks, yes, she talks. I used to think I'm a talker. She talks 10 times, of me. And she tells me, yeah, I'll talk to my boss because they actually give us incentives. They pay us, for bringing somebody, yeah? So I'm like, yeah, if you're getting an incentive, then yes, I can take the job without guilt, yeah? And so, we continue, and now I'm waiting for the job. I didn't know it, but for the jobs abroad, you have to attend an interview. They have to check through your resume. I used to think you just walk in. After all, jobs are raining, yeah? And then they will process that for about 2 weeks, so you're waiting, yeah? But eventually now, I think now from that period of July, I was just waiting. But eventually now on 21st is when I start training on my new job, okay? Now, in the times that we were going to McDonald's and everything, I was meeting her friends. And also, since my son's birthday, she was coming around with friends. She was coming around sometimes at night. They're just from a party. She's coming to see us, and I'm upstairs doing my routines and stuff. One time I even didn't come down because I was like, why are you coming to my house at night? You don't tell me when you're coming. Like, I don't understand. You're bringing people in this home. What is going on? And all this time I'm feeling like, something is wrong. Okay. Like, I don't feel comfortable now around these people. They talk about me in my face. I'm not okay. Okay. So, I'm getting a bit reserved. And, yeah, I'm like, no. So I'm listening to the conversations downstairs. And I remember at that time that I didn't come down, I was actually reading, and I was like, no, I'm not going down. So anyway, I start working, training at McDonald's, and some of the friends of hers that I had noticed, one of them was on shift. Yeah, she was a manager and she was on closing shift. When you're in a closing shift, you have to clean a lot, yeah? So she's passing with this big McDonald's equipment. And as I'm training, we are somewhere, the office is on a corridor, yeah? She keeps hitting my head. Oh my God, it seems like an accident. I'm like, wow, I don't get it. From the moment I met these people, they were not friendly, even though I had tried to be. So I can tell something is going on, okay? No matter what anyone says, something is definitely going down. And so sometimes she's coming eating, yeah, but she's eating over my head, acting like she wants to see what's going on, like how is our training going, and she's the manager. We won't stop her. But I could tell even my trainer is a bit uncomfortable with this behavior, yeah? And I don't like bad manners, so I'm like, I know, this is not cool. Okay, so I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but something is up, and I'm even more uncomfortable now with this job. But what do I do? It's like I'm out of options everywhere. Even the places I've attended interview, they never got back to me. I got lost looking for work. My feet were swollen, and I was like, oh my God, this is where my husband has been. It's so tough. It's so dry. And when we arrived, I was like, this land is so flat. There are no trees, and I'm a nature person, yeah? So it's like there was no healing for me unless now we go on those nature walks and all that. I was like, God, this is not the land, you know. So I'm like, no, 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 no. But I start now writing on Facebook, because now we're in the times of a miracle. When the Spirit of the Lord is poured upon you, you'll start writing. Yes, so I'm writing all these stories, and people are telling me, hey, Nduts, you should be a writer, okay? I write about the women I've ever admired, which are the Luo women, yeah? Just a lot. And as in this period, I'm also now realizing there are some programs I'm seeing I never used to see in Kenya. Plus, I wasn't so like, whatever I was seeing in Kenya were the YouTubes abroad, yeah? But now I'm seeing like Kenyan Diaspora TV. I'm getting into the culture. I'm playing my Kikuyu music in the house and all that, yeah? And I feel like this pull towards my people as I see how well they sing, you know? I'm like, wow. So I'm making all these Facebook posts, and without knowing it, I'm talking about what this place is. I call it a battleground, yeah? And I talk about how in a battleground, you don't get to cry to your mama, okay? When the soldiers go away and they're in a battleground, there's nothing you can do. And so I talk a lot about battlegrounds, yeah? And then I write my stories. People are thinking, I owe you. Something is happening. She's never written this much, even though I was always like in my time of, just seeking God, I was always posting, yeah? And so, this whole time God is telling me to observe, and I've observed. I've seen this woman is more beautiful than I ever, thought. Very well built. So because my husband was supposed to come to this place to receive us, sort of prepare the house for us, because otherwise you have to sign a contract, yeah? But now, he had to just talk to the landlady, the couple, yeah, and just tell them he's away, but now he wants this for the family, yeah. So when we were picked, when we were brought in, that's when I got to sign the contract. It was so kind of our landlady to, just agree to wait, yeah. So anyway, because he couldn't come then, he's now coming, on August 31st, okay? So the very last day of August, yeah. And as much as we're excited, I'm so scared, yeah. But I've been, my training is coming to an end, and it's like I've started working. It's my first day, it's my first week of work, yeah. And so I'm a bit skeptical. I'm not sure what will happen when this guy comes. I'm not sure if he's coming now to make a declaration of love. And it seems that is what we all thought, yeah. Now this family, it's like now they had observed and thought, surely this guy wants to marry the girl, and that is why he told them that we are here. Just she was getting like very familiar with us, just checking how the kids are, and I noticed that even the friends acted like they know my kids, yeah. So in this shift that I'm working, I was working beside her friend, yeah. And have you ever encountered a situation where you can't even talk to someone because it's like they know everything about you, about your kids, and now this lady would say funny things like, your kids are big, even they can survive a divorce, yeah. And so, oh my God, I'm like getting shocked, but I'm at the same time thinking, this is a child of divorce, yeah, like the lady, her parents divorced. She's talking like divorce is normal. So I'm like, okay. And remember now, at my time of consecration, I had come into agreement, and all the things I ever said, yeah, I remember. And I remember now God telling me, let's go, okay? And it's like now I'm God's child. He has taken me back. And I'm like, I'm cool with that, but this is painful. This is painful, God. Just seeing these people, and I'm even thinking, yes, this girl can get married to my husband. She's beautiful. She's like his height, a lot of hints that she would say, I don't eat this kind of rice. The kind of rice she likes is what my husband likes. So I'm like, oh my God, this is what it is, okay? And so I'm seeing just a lot of these things. So at home, they can just swing by anytime. At work, I'm working beside her friend who is totally sold out to her, yeah? But I begin to see this girl is very nice, yeah? But it's just the initial days. But this woman who was hitting my head during training, I'm working with her, too. And one time she just, I don't remember what she did to me, yeah? But it was so bad. and I don't know, I forgive and forget, I do not remember. So I shrank back and just like, went to the side. So I wasn't working, and one manager noticed the whole thing, yeah, somehow. And I was about to find out now what happened with that, yeah. But it's still my first week at work. I'm so like I can see all this negative energy. I'm wondering, will I survive here? But at the same time, I do not have a choice, okay? And so my husband comes in. Now, on the day that he was arriving, yeah, I would go, he was coming to at around 5, yeah. I would go into the bathroom and find my son, my firstborn, just watching from the window, because the bathroom and my bedroom were facing the street, yeah. And so he couldn't see from the street from his bedroom. So imagine he went there, and I was like, my God, this is just so sad. This family is about to just break down, and I can't imagine the pain, because this guy had really been affected by his father leaving. They were so tight, yeah, since birth. And I feel so bad for him, seeing him watching from the window like that, just waiting for his guy, yeah. And I am like, just go to your room. I'll tell you when dad comes, okay? And he's about to. So, in fact, it didn't take long. As I'm walking to my bedroom, I'm like, hey, Mike, dad is coming. I can see the cab. I just know it's them, yeah? So, even before we open the door, I hear him. He's very loud, yeah? So, we wake all the kids, we are so excited, yeah? He's coming, so... he comes in. I'm just so happy now. From what I've seen, it was so heart-wrenching, and just to see now the kids with the dad, and it's like now we are our little family back together. Always so easy to fall into things, together into the normal routine. I haven't seen this guy for 2 years, since 2015, yeah. So it's just like such a miracle, yeah. So anyway, we welcome him home. He loves the house, It's like, hey, you guys are living good, yeah. Yeah. And so now, like, we have to go back to sleep, everybody, yeah, because he doesn't even want to eat. So we sleep for a few hours before I go to work, yeah. I had to work. He came in on a Thursday, okay. Now, just before he came in, this lady had now, looked kind of desperate. She was forever coming to my house. It's like she's pushing my buttons, yeah. But in this last 1 week, there's a time now she brought her son, who used to go to daycare. But she says, oh, there's no one to watch this kid. And I'm like, I'm going to work. And she's like, just let her stay with the others. And I can't say no, because, she's forever helping, forever buying things, taking the guys out, At this time, like, I wasn't even showing anything, like I'm learning anything, yeah. So, she comes and she's like, I think that is like at the Tuesday in that week, yeah. So she's like, just let him stay here, I have to go to work. My sister has refused to watch him, so I'm in a fix. I'm like, okay, because she doesn't do this normally, yeah. So yeah, I go take my bus and I go to work, and now it's like she had departed for some time, yeah. She had separated herself. She was showing a bit of animosity, but now she's back, yeah. And now she's telling me, I can take your shifts when your husband comes, but they tell me she has a lot of shifts. I asked, so she can't work, and I'm like, okay. So I don't even learn from my husband, from her. I learned from my husband that they are planning to come to my house on a Friday, yeah? And that Friday, I'm working late night shift, okay? I'm closing, so 4 to 10, yeah? And I'm like, wow, okay, so there's nothing I can do, guys. Remember, all the confessions of my mouth, you can go, poteleo. Yeah, so yeah, I'm like now, no wonder God had to fortify me, yeah. So I'm like, whatever happens, I accept, yeah. So she knows my schedule. We work in the same place, and she knows I'm working this Friday, yeah. And guess what? I'm working with her friend who was mean to me earlier, yeah. So yeah, she was extra mean on this night, yeah. So my husband came in on Thursday morning. I'm sorry. And in the morning, I wake up and the mother is calling me. And for not for the first time, I had seen some weirdness. She's like, where's your husband? You know, I'm using the accent. I'm like, he's asleep. Can you tell him to call me? I'm like, wow, okay. Okay, she didn't even say good morning. She's rude to me. Like, she takes me, she treats me some way funny. But now this is extra. The clothes are out, yeah? So I'm like, oh my God, now I have to step aside now for these people to take over. Because now when they come, so yeah, it's over for me. And so that Friday I'm working. I'm like, yeah, it's even good that I'm working. I don't want to be there when these people meet. And so she comes during the day and she brings some, some game tables that she had promised when we came in the first time, yeah? She had promised, oh, I'll bring your boys some tables because one of my white friends is getting rid of all these games. And I'm like, hey, cool. Yeah, so now she brings those tables then after my hubby comes, yeah. Remember I said she had now started, staying away from us until that week, yeah. So yeah, she comes, they meet, I'm at work. And then later now she's coming with the whole family, yeah. This whole family had always now been with my husband, okay. So if like they're going to wholesale shops, they will go together, yeah. People do that a lot. So she was shopping. Remember my dreams where he's shopping with someone, and I used to think in my dream head, in my mind, I used to think if you're gonna run away, it would be with a mzungu, yeah. But now in my dreams, God would make sure that this woman that I'm seeing is wearing a tan brown, top or something, yeah. So I've hinted enough, now I'm meeting my giant, okay. And in this time I have seen she talks, she has a good command, of language, even though with a beautiful accent, so to say, yeah. Yeah, it was very admirable, very much in control, very authoritative, very much, able to take over, yeah. So I'm like, my God, okay, fine, even if this thing is acceptable, I just hope my kids will be safe. And I have a friend who is like a second wife. I have seen love her husband's children, and I'm hoping and praying that at least that can happen, yeah. So I'm like, just whatever happens, I hope that I'm with my kids. And I realize how, we've not been having money. So I know this guy can't send me off with money, like he used to say. So maybe I'll have to go now to another town, and I have to work so hard in order to ever even have a say of my kids, yeah. Remember, these kids are Merus, okay? So for a Kikuyu woman to get them back, it's tough. But all this time, yeah, I'm having these dreams that suggest otherwise, okay, and visions. And God is telling me to observe, okay. But up to this point, now I'm at work, and this lady is extra cruel, okay. Yeah, I'm still doing this in my story, but forgive me, guys. So yeah, very, very weird to me. And that night, I cannot for the life of me remember how to close and wash the grill, okay. I do not remember what my training was saying about now the things that she's putting me to task. I thought there would be somebody working the first shifts with me, and my trainer had done that, yeah. But suddenly it's here. I'm not able to do it. We're supposed to close at 10:30. I'm panicking, now even hubby is calling me like, we are here to pick you. Where are you? And I'm like, guy, I have not finished the work. I don't even know how to do this thing. And I tell her finally, I don't remember how this thing is done. And she's so mad, and she was giving me a bad time, a hard time the whole evening. And the funny thing is that when closing, it's just two people that close, yeah. So she's at the front, I'm in the kitchen. I can make the food, but I really can't wash the grill and some of the equipment. It's so heavy. I'm like, what abroad is this that people do? When you're in Africa, you think everything is mechanized. You just push buttons, right? Suddenly things are so hard, and I realize I make a mental note. I have to learn all these things in the coming week, because losing my job is not in the plans, yeah. And so finally I tell her, I'm so sorry about this night. I really can't do this. Please do it for me. I really promise to do better, yeah. So she's like, just go. Hey, so I leave. Now, when I leave and meet my family, they tell me, oh my God, Mom, we've been with the family. And now this lady is telling us that you were shown so much contempt at work by her friend. Yeah, because now As much as she talks about me, she talks about her friends, and she says the most derogatory things, yeah. And as I observed, I had observed and thought, this girl has a mouth like me. Were it not for God changing me, I used to gossip. I used to just make observation. I'm thinking I'm making observations, but sincerely, this is gossip, and gossip is wrong because you're afflicting somebody with what you really can't do. Yeah, if you can't, confront them and slap them for whatever you think you're mad about, you talk to people about it, yeah? So you're afflicting people, you're coming into agreement against another person, yeah? But this time, because I'm feeling like I've been so washed by the blood, I feel so clean, yeah? So what I'm seeing here is a mirror of my past, and I'm like, no. Another thing I had observed, yeah? This girl looked like me. She did her hair like I used to when I was in kind of high school and coming out of high school, yeah? Like throughout my high school, I used to have this thorough pushback, yeah? A habit from school, yeah? And then later I would do like a pixie when I started working. But now as I look, this girl is so me, And I'm like, wow. How did I not see this from the beginning? She handles things sometimes like me, only whatever it is to the power of 10, She's like 10 times stronger, 10 times better, So they tell me, she says that you were treated badly at work and the managers discussed, and because this lady was getting a promotion, and she was being sent now to work to manage another branch, yeah? But she refused because that branch is way busier. She said, no, I want to stay here. And they told her, you really can't stay here. If you want to accept the promotion, you have to go to the other branch. And she said, well, I've even applied to another place. I can go. Thinking that she's playing hardball, the managers say, well and good. Be gone, okay? And it's like in the discussion they had said, this is so wrong that she can treat somebody new with all the training we've put in. It's so expensive to train, so too bad, yeah? She has to go, and she had worked in this place for so many years, yeah? So the time she's coming to bargain, yeah, she actually expected for them to keep her. She was such a hard worker, always just cleaning, like very able to do her job. I wanted to be that good, yeah? But yeah, I discover now in the next weeks that she's gone, yeah? So anyway, my family picks me, we go home, right? And now I'm to find out that in the time that these people had organized that they will come and spend the evening at my house, I'm imagining they have even entered my kitchen and cooked. They have really taken over, yeah? I found out my hubby took the kids out to eat and play basketball and didn't stay in the house. So I'm like, what? How this guy is handling things the way I would want, like with so much respect towards me. Wow. So I'm like, wow, he did good, okay? So they came to my house, knocked, there's no one home, okay? And so they call him, where are you? And he says, he's at the basketball court. If you want to come, you can come. That is where I am, okay? We are here outside your door. Nope, I'm here with my kids playing basketball. And so they feel, very mad because they had already sent message that they are coming. Okay, so how dare he go away? They've taken care of, this family, like they've been around for that, a month and something. They've gotten a job for the wife. So how dare he come in and act like that, yeah? So it was really bad. But anyway, that didn't happen. I felt respected, yeah? So like I even asked my hubby, how come you didn't let them come to the house? And he's like, this is your house, So there's no way I'm going to let somebody, come into your kitchen and cook. And I'm like, God, thank you. I know this man is not going to change his mind. He's very firm in his ways, okay? But my God, thank you, And I'll tell you more in the next one, okay? Bye-bye.